This $50 leverless controller has really impressed me. Let's talk about it. All right, so a couple weeks back, I made a post asking you guys to help me find the cheapest leverless controller, whether it was through AliExpress, Temu, whatever it was. However, I did have a couple of criterias, right? I wanted it to be very similar to the Snackbox. I wanted it to be very similar in size. I wanted it to use the Kale switches, and I wanted it to have RGB. And ultimately, it came down to this $50 leverless controller I have here. Now, I know that there are some even cheaper ones, $30, $35. However, they had an insane amount of shipping cost. So much so that it made it even more expensive than the one that I ended up buying. Heck, you can even get coupon codes for AliExpress to get $8 off and stuff like that. This actually came out to about $48 after shipping. So, as you guys probably guessed, the first positive is the price, and it's $50. Do we really need to say anything else? It's as cheap as you can get. Yes, I know you can also build one for around $30, but then you have to worry about building it. You have to worry about the software and hoping that you don't mess anything up. So again, $20 more, it's all prepared for you, and it's plug and play if you're on PC. There's also a cheaper version, about $10 cheaper, that doesn't have the little screen. But you guys know how much I love this little screen from the RTU review, so just trust me, spend the extra $10 and get the one with the screen. The next positive I'm going to talk about is the size. Now, this thing is incredibly compact and small. If you were looking into the Snackbox, this is as close as you're going to get to trying one out for the low. You can see on the screen here just how thinner it is compared to the RTU, which was already incredibly small. And even in size, it fits pretty much on top / inside the RTU Hitbox. On top of that, you don't even need cargo shorts for this one. It literally fits in my shorts pockets. Look at this thing. It's so tiny. But trust me, you're not going to be want to carry in this thing in your pocket. The next positive is going to be features and user friendliness. Now, this device has literally everything that the RTU has for 1/3 of the price, but it also has a couple more things. Not only am I getting everything that the RTU has for $130, for only $50, this thing also comes with RGB, just like the Snackbox. It comes with Type-C, just like the RTU. It comes with the screen that tells you what SOCD, what input, you know, what your switches are doing. And it even has a reset button just to reset the whole thing for whatever reason. And let's be honest, we all love some RGB. Just look at my setup, keyboard, PC, hell, even the Go XLR has RGB all over it. Next positive is a quick one. It's just things that came in the box. So right out the box, you obviously had the device itself. However, it did come with a nice cap puller, pretty long one. Let's see if it'll focus in on there. Pretty long one, at least compare to the little tiny one that RTU gave you. On top of that, they also gave you some extra buttons in case one of them break. And I almost forgot, you also get a USB Type-C cable. However, this is the same one that came with the RTU, and it's complete crap. It's very small and it feels really flimsy. So go ahead and get yourself another one. You can throw this one out. The next positive is ease of disassembly. This thing is insanely easy to take apart. It just has a couple screws in the back and it literally comes apart, and you can see all the internals. It actually is a mixture between the RTU and the B1 PC. The PCB itself is very similar to the one that the B1 PC has inside, but everything else is very similar to the RTU. I was actually pretty surprised of how good the PCB looked. And it has this label Fightbox, and I tried Googling it, but I couldn't really find them, just in case maybe you could buy it to build your own. But yeah, the internals, pretty good. Now, this device actually uses a form factor and layout that many people use in the Fight Stick forums and Discord. It's pretty much based on the Flatbox concept that everybody builds these cheapo Fight Sticks for. You can even see that in the Discord, everybody uses very similar PCBs, and the design and layout is literally the same. Even the materials used are the same. So if you ever have questions regarding the software, or maybe you want to get some new 3D printed buttons, you can always ask the forums or the Discord here. Now this next one I'm going to label as neutral because it's more so a me problem, right? Now, like I mentioned with the RTU, it being so small isn't really something I favor. You know, I got them chunky boy thighs, so having this on my lap isn't the most comfortable thing in the world. But it's not just the size of the device itself that bothers me, it's the layout that's a little bit different than my other two hitboxes, and the size of the buttons that truly threw me off for a while, and it took me a while to get used to. Now when it comes to the B1 or the RTU, I always tend to have my pinky on either parry if you're playing Street Fighter 6 or high kick. Now when it comes to the other device, since the buttons are spaced out a little bit more and they are smaller, I would sometimes miss the buttons completely, or my pinky would just be laying in empty space. It just felt really weird, and it took me a little bit to get used to. Again, I'm putting this in neutral because if you don't have anything else to reference to, if you don't have a B1, RTU, or any other leverless controller, you won't really have anything to compare it to, and it probably won't bother you because your muscle memory isn't there like it was for me with the other devices. Now let's get on to the negatives, and honestly I don't have that many. The first one's going to be compatibility. Now I was thinking of putting this in the neutral because for me it's fine, you know, I mostly play on PC and it's plug and play on PC. However, when it comes to console users, you will need a Brook converter. That means having to go out and buy either a Brook Wingman FGC for PS5 or one of the various Xbox ones. However, for PC users and Nintendo Switch users, in case you for some reason you play fighting games on a Nintendo Switch, you can use it natively. The next negative is warranty and customer service. This is an AliExpress product, so you know what to expect. Once your $50 are gone, they're pretty much gone. Okay, you are on your own if this device breaks or if it comes defective. Good luck trying to go through the whole AliExpress process. I mean, just look at how bad it went for me dealing with the B1 PC, and I bought that on Amazon. Moving on to the last negative, and honestly the biggest downside to this product, it's the materials and the housing itself. This is mostly a 3D printed device besides the PCB. You can see the lines and imperfections from the 3D printed material. I know that there's different types of 3D printing material, but obviously they're not going to use the good stuff for these products since they're trying to go budget. There was even some 3D printing material residue in some of my buttons. This gives the device a very cheap and flimsy feeling. However, the texture on top and on top of the buttons is very nice. I actually liked it. It felt fine on my fingers, and it added, you know, a completely different feel compared to the RTU and B1. However, you can make this device feel a little bit better for around $16 more. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and here we go. As you guys can see, I have actually put the official Snackbox micro buttons on them, and they do work. They fit it perfectly. Now, these buttons are concaved, which means that they curve inward, but Snackbox does also sell convex ones. So if you're more used to the flat surface or the outer surface, like a normal arcade button, then you can probably go with those. However, if you were looking at buying a Snackbox, these are the ones that it comes with. So this is as close as getting a really cheap Snackbox as you're gonna get. So that's pretty much it, guys. The biggest downfall to this device is the material used. Obviously it's 3D printed material, so it does feel a bit cheap, but for $50, you're getting a lot out of this device. I mean, it literally has everything that this has except for the build quality and the gamer finger buttons. The plastic around this, the plexiglass in the front and back is what makes this feel a bit more premium. So if you want something maybe a little more durable, maybe go with the RTU. But if you're just trying to see if you like leverless, you don't want to spend too much money, and you are eyeing the Snackbox Micro, this is definitely not a bad product to get. Well, here we are at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Make sure you DP that like button in the face, and make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Only 3% of you guys are subscribed when watching my video. What's up with that? As always, much love, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.